Hi everybody, I'm Stephen Feeney and I'm in Scotland at the moment at a wonderful snooker hotspot called the Creamery. The Creamery is in Falkirk and they have one of what I remember as a terrific snooker player by the name of Billy Snaddon, who sat beside me. And for the last 4 days, I've been training Billy as a SightRight snooker and pool coaching ambassador for Scotland. So we're going to take the opportunity right now, first of all, to find out about Billy Snaddon. So Billy, all these years, there's a couple of people that we know that have brought us together. And it's been a real privilege, first of all, for the 4 days that we've spent together. But for the purposes of the fans that are watching, who is Billy Snaddon?
Yeah, well, I was obviously a professional snooker player from probably the early 90s. I kind of retired about 13, 14 years later.
Okay.
I got to the final of the International Open in China,
Yeah.
where I beat Craig McGilvery to qualify, actually.
Okay.
And then I beat James Watana, Stephen Lee, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Stephen Hendry, and then had a nice easy game in the final. I played John Higgins.
A nice easy game.
Yeah.
John Higgins, a nice easy game. Yeah.
I think it's the only. I think at that up until that point, I think it was the only Asian event that John done well in. So
Okay.
but yeah, it was an experience, and obviously to beat probably at that time 4 of the top 8 players in the world and play another one in the final. Kind of showed where I was with my level as well.
Okay. So, best achievement as a professional?
Yeah, I think so. I also obviously got in the top 32 in the world for probably about 6-7 seasons, and got to various quarterfinals and got to Sheffield 5 times as a professional, and unfortunately lost every one of them. But it was still every young boy's dream is to play at Sheffield, so to do it 5 times
Okay.
was good. But also probably my biggest regret, not winning a match there.
Right. So, top 32 as a professional. What was your highest ranking?
The highest ranking I got to was 24.
Okay.
I was provisionally 9 after I got to the final in the China Open that season.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I lost my last 2 games. I lost in the British Open 5-4, and then I lost in the World Qualifier to Steve James, who he played really well against me.
He was a cracker of a player.
He was a brilliant player. He beat me 10-7, but if I'd won one of the matches, I would have been in the top 16.
Oh, so close.
Kind of gutted, but yeah.
So we have a talent. We have a big talent. So when we look at the decades, the 90s, so there was a huge amount of talent at the time. Who was your favourite player back then?
Well, I used to watch Port Black with my parents, and Jimmy White, without a shadow of doubt. He was
mine. Yeah.
Yeah, he was just fantastic. Good to watch. Unfortunately, never won the Worlds, but yeah, he was my favourite player growing up.
What did you like about Jimmy White? What was the style that you liked about him?
I just like he's attacking. He used to obviously go for his shots. He was flamboyant.
Yeah.
He played shots that other players at the time probably couldn't play. So
yeah.
But I loved watching him, and was lucky enough to play him a few times. So through the years, so that was good as well.
Well, he was my hero. I was lucky enough to coach him for a while, and yeah, some of the shots he taught people to play. I think he's revered, still revered, but by the same token, look what he won. And he'll always maintain, had he won the world, you probably wouldn't be here today. So, but who's your favourite player today?
I think I've obviously played every single top player through the years. John Higgins, without a shadow of a doubt, is my favourite player. I came up through the ranks with him.
Yeah.
He's just genuinely a lovely guy off the table, and obviously a tremendous player. Probably one of the top 2 or 3 in my opinion.
Okay.
Obviously O'Sullivan, Hendry, and obviously John Higgins. I think maybe Mark Williams.
He's played the lot.
Yeah,
he's played the lot.
But he's his determination, his longevity. I mean, obviously the class of '92 as we speak about them.
Yeah.
Every one of them is just amazing players to watch.
What were your 3 strengths as a professional snooker player? What were your 3 strengths?
I think my work ethic in the club, which probably came from a manager at the time,
Okay.
between Lee Doyle and Ian Doyle. part
Well,
of the
he
110
and Dawes
Sports Camp.
certainly used to work Stephen Hendry, didn't he? So
Yeah.
so yeah.
I played obviously practice with him probably every day for 10 years nearly. And if Stephen Hendry's the best player in the world at the time and his work ethic was good,
Yeah.
your work ethic has to be good. So
Yeah.
I really did like practice hard,
Yeah.
6-7 hours every day, either solely or playing another obviously player, because there was so many good players in the club at the time.
Yeah.
Robidoux, Stephen Maguire, Higgins, Ken Doherty, so many good players. So that, along with, I think I was a good long potter. Always felt comfortable under pressure if I've got a
Okay.
long pot.
Yeah.
And I can't even mind what I said for the third one.
Your third one, your work ethic, long potting, and you raised your game.
Yeah, look, I think when I played against the top players in the game, I was probably one of the players that they didn't want to play. I had a really good record against a lot of the top players. I mean,
Yeah.
I played Ronnie 4 times, I beat him twice. I've only played Hendry once, beat him. Higgins, I played maybe 3 times. I won once, lost twice. So against the top players, I think I felt like I belonged there.
Everybody knew you were talented. Yeah. Everybody knew your qualities.
Yep, without a shadow of doubt. And obviously the players at the time that came through from my era, i.e. like your Joe Perry, Mark Davis, all like fantastic players. We were at the qualifiers together, which obviously was an incredibly tough school. And yeah, to get to obviously the TV stages and play against arguably your heroes, and competing at the highest level was very, very good.
I think that's something that's really important when we look at those strengths and work ethic. It's something probably that we see in the Chinese players today. They're in at the academy in Sheffield. They're in at 9 o'clock in the morning. They're working all the way through. They are relentless. You know, they stop for lunch and that's it. And they are relentless. And, you know, whichever way you look at it today, the work ethics is probably, you know, if you don't have it, you're probably not going to be there. So, okay. That's a really good snapshot, really, of Billy in terms of professional snooker. Okay, that's Billy as the professional snooker player. But he's multi-talented. Talk to me about pool.
Yeah, well, I've played pool now since I retired from my snooker days professionally. Ended up playing for Scotland internationally.
Yeah.
So
that's the colours.
Yes, that's the colours. I'm a passionate Scot. I love playing for my country.
Yeah.
So yeah, we play in kind of 2 international events a year. I was lucky enough to go to Killarney in 2016, and I won the World Seniors at the time against obviously a very talented field of players. I won the Nations Cup in Bridlington last season.
I remember Bridlington well from our national county finals. That was an escapade.
It's a tremendous venue. Loads of very, very talented players. So I was lucky enough to win the singles there in the Masters section.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is, though, I'm a team player.
Yeah.
So going away to play for Scotland for years and years, where we dominated like kind of seniors pool for a long time, maybe 6-7 years, and we've took the step up to the Masters because we're obviously getting a wee bit older.
Yeah.
And we were lucky enough to win the Nations Cup in Gibraltar a few months ago with a tremendous Masters team. So yeah, that's my passion. Playing for my country is great, and I've been lucky enough to have a wild card this season from Stephen Allison and Paul Corrigan, who run the IPA pool tour.
Yeah. So
I play as a professional in that, as a wild card. So I've enjoyed it. I just feel like I'm the oldest man there. I feel like I should have gone on a saga holiday when I'm going down there, because there's so many young talented players. But look, it's been good for me personally. I've enjoyed it, and yeah, I've got another year and a half to go with it. So we'll see what happens.
When I used to play for the county in English 8-ball pool, it was very much, you know, a massive team environment. We used to go away for all sorts of team events. You had lots of snooker players coming in to play pool. Not really pool players go to play snooker. And I always remember Ross McGuinness once saying to me, a good snooker player can become a good and a great pool player, but not necessarily the other way round. So there's a skills difference, there's a skills gap, isn't there? What do you think is needed in terms of development of pool players from your perspective?
I think there needs to be a structure, like obviously what we've been doing in the last 3 or 4 days. There's a lot of very, very talented young Scots at the moment.
Yeah.
From under 23 right down to under 15. And last weekend at the IPA tour in Glasgow, they had like a junior section and an under 18 and under 15, and they played against each other, obviously, to a wee bit of competition.
Yeah.
I just think, and I know there's individual coaches in Scotland, but I just think there needs to be a structure within either it be Scottish snooker or Scottish pool where somebody brings these young guys and brings them forward.
Yeah.
That's what I see. Or an academy in the Creamery or whatever, or Oakview Pool Hall back in Fish Cross where I play as well.
Yeah.
So I think between those kind of sections, I think they need help to move forward as players, to be honest.
And I think you now understand by what we've been doing within the SightRight coaching program that I don't see a technique for snooker, pool or 9-ball pool. I see a technique that is fit for the individual, an individual player to sight perfectly, aim perfectly, to build a technique that is individual to them biomechanically. So I see one technique for the lot. If you want to cue straight, you don't want to be offline in any part of what you do, both visually or technically. So when I look at these players, you know that you can develop the talent of and skills of pool players on a snooker table, all right, but take them back to the pool table because there are certain physics that are different with a small cue ball and stuff like that. But it's fascinating when we look at two snooker players in the past. Okay, you're professional, but when we look at the world of English 8-ball pool, the opportunity is tremendous in terms of development and bringing players up to a very, very high skill level. So what you're doing at the Creamery is going to be pretty special, isn't it?
Yeah, of course. I mean, when Greg and Dean approached me and asked me if I'd be interested, I mean, my passion is snooker and pool. I mean, I know I've not played snooker for a long time, but the last 6-7 weeks, even just coming here is going to lit my fire a little bit, and then obviously coming to see the last 3 or 4 days with yourself to try and take me to a different level, to be honest, especially with coaching. And I mean, the last 3 or 4 days has blew my mind. How
we'll talk about that in a minute.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, and to pass that on to people as well. So, I mean, I think you only get out of something what you put into it. I've always been a great believer in that. So, and I'm looking forward to obviously taking what we've done with SightRight forward in Scotland and then help people. I
mean, the passion here from somebody who's clearly gone from the snooker world to the pool world, but at the highest level in both, and that's really quite special. And what we see coming here for the Creamery, with literally a coaching ambassador for the Creamery for Scotland, is going to bring people here to Billy, and it's a privilege for the time that we've spent together and to be supporting that. Let's talk about SightRight coaching and CueSports. What's opened your eyes over the last 4 days? What have you seen? What have you experienced? What has it been like?
Yeah, it's just, I mean, I was looking forward to you coming up and putting me through, obviously, the process and learning about SightRight, because I've heard so many things. I've played this game for almost 40 years, and I haven't even been walking in for the correct position, and it's incredible. And I've had conversations with other guys that play snooker, other guys that play pool, and I said to them, I says, can you imagine when I go to see Steve, I says, and I'm not, or any of us are not walking in for the correct position, which could make a massive difference on your, I mean, I haven't been playing that great at snooker since I've came back, and the last 2 or 3 days, I think I've kind of surprised myself, because if you're walking in for the correct position, it just makes the game so much easier.
Yeah.
And I just feel like it's totally enlightened how I look at snooker or any cue sport now. Yeah. Because I've learned so much in 3 or 4 days.
Taking Billy through the whole coach program for snooker and pool has been one, an eye-opening experience, 2, enlightening in terms of the modern process. If we see, as I say to Billy, if we see CueSports as high premium accuracy and precision sports, then the fundamental process is we want to know how to sight and aim properly in our pre-shot routine. But to do that, we've got to understand how the player sees straight. And there are two elements to that. So we've been taking Billy through that process, and the old eye dominance tricks, the triangles and the finger pointing, we now know that they're flawed.
Yeah.
All right, just by the various things that we've done, the proven evidence. But then in that process, it's been understanding how once we get those things ascertained, it's how we help the player build a perfectly online technique to deliver a perfectly straight cue. All right, and so the pocket SightRight, when we introduced you to that, tell me what that was like.
Well, I mean, I'd seen it because I've went on obviously to the SightRight website and I've looked at the 10-point plan and stuff like that, and yeah, to actually to see it and then to work with it to get you in the correct position was I mean, you seen me, I was laughing at times, like to say, this can't be this simple. And no, that is a simple thing. Obviously, it's a simple process, but for obviously yourself to come out with it and then like help people just to line up correctly.
The complexities behind it.
Yeah.
In other words, what we did is we showed the whole use of it. So I'll always maintain, give somebody a putter and it doesn't make them a good golf putter. What it does is just gives them an implement. And when people are trying to either access a pocket SightRight and just try and learn themselves, they've got to understand the principles, because the coaching principles are completely different to the old template of right or left leg online. And one thing that came out for Billy, which was pretty obvious, the moment you teach a player to play right or left leg online is the moment you induce parallax error, which is offline siding. And that has probably been the biggest impact, right?
Without a shadow of doubt, because obviously one of the first questions you asked me on the workbooks was, how do you line yourself up? And obviously you laughed when I said it. I said I come in probably off my right leg, and I've coached people for years, and I've tried to get them to like walk into the shot, and I'm probably completely flawed. Well, I know I'm completely flawed now because I'm completely flawed. Well, not now, obviously, but yeah, it was just, I've honestly, the last 3 or 4 days has kind of really opened my mind to, when I got nearly in the top 16, and I've no doubt in my mind, if I'd have been working with yourself a long time ago when I was a decent player, that I would have definitely been in the top 16. I have no question in my mind about that.
The question is, do we now have a little bit of unfinished business that we need to deal with? But we're going to leave that for another time. I hope you've really enjoyed just listening to Billy, just one Billy story in terms of snooker and pool and what he's achieved, but most importantly, what he's going to be doing here at the Creamery, the way he's going to be building talent development, coaching, bringing some special stuff to Scotland as our ambassador, but also, most importantly, the Creamery's ambassador for coaching. We've got players behind us that are coming into the club. This club is ongoing all the while. And for me, it's been a massive privilege to be here, but we're not going to trouble the players anymore. All right. We've done our little bit. We're going to bring in some other stuff. In America, I've got massive PBIA coaches saying SightRight rocks, is a game changer. What would be your one statement?
It's totally enlightening. That's what I would say. It's incredible.
Yeah.
The difference I've felt the last few days, and obviously it's difficult at times. You've had to line me up at certain times. I think I've picked it up pretty quickly.
You have indeed, yeah.
But it's just, it's totally opened my mind up to how you should be playing rather than guessing. That's what it is. You're guessing.
Billy now knows if you've got a coach that's lining you up on your right leg and you're right-handed and you live in England, you're trying to drive the car from the passenger seat. You're trying to aim from the passenger seat. Just think about that.
Yeah.
Right. If you're in Scotland, get down to see Billy. All right. Now, he's going to be a busy man. I know he is. All right. But he's waiting and ready. And for me, mentoring and working with Billy and helping the Creamery here, this is already a fantastic place. But to build talent, because there's some things that Billy would love to achieve in terms of creating the next champions from Scotland. So, get hold of Billy, get down to the Creamery, learn some SightRight.
Thank you very much.